What's up, YouTube? It's Coach Carlos back with another video. This is episode 6 of how to build the perfect jump shot. Let's get into it. So the first mistake that I see is that players start to push the ball, putting both hands behind the ball instead of putting their shooting hand on the top of the ball at that air hole behind it, and then their guide hand directly on the side of the ball. They ended up putting both hands behind the ball like this, and this causes them to have that pushing motion. So instead of shooting the shot upwards, they'll end up pushing the ball just like that. So that's the first mistake. You want to make sure you're shooting the ball with the correct hand placement and not pushing the ball. The next mistake is that I notice players have a chicken wing. They have their arm all out, or they have their arm too far pointed in. And this also causes them to push the ball. Because if your arm is too far out, you're gonna end up pushing the ball like that. Whatever way your arm is pointed, the ball is most likely gonna go that way. So if my arm is out here, the ball is gonna go that way. If my arm is this way, it's gonna go that way. If it's this way, it's gonna go that way. So your shooting arm, your forearm, has the ability to determine the direction that your shot is gonna go. So you cannot have your shooting arm pointed out this way or pointed in or anything like that. It needs to be as straight as possible. The third mistake that I see a lot of players make is that they bend their knees in together. When they shoot, they start to bend their knees like this because they want their feet to be perfectly square towards the basket, and then their knees end up coming together. One, you can get hurt from this. It is really not good at all for your knees. Two, if you start to notice that you're doing this, this means that your knees don't have to be perfectly square towards the basket. Again, I gave y'all another option in episode 3. Y'all can slightly turn your knees and then it'll make it a little bit more comfortable. But if your knees are like this and then you're bending them in together, you're gonna get hurt. And then also, we talked about how your legs act as a spring. Your legs can't spring you forward if your knees are going inward. They're gonna just spring outward and you're not gonna have any power. So make sure your knees are bent, going straight forward towards the basket, or slightly bent and just going like this. The next mistake that I noticed is that players are shooting a two motion shot. So instead of bringing the ball directly from their thigh, going straight up in a straight line, all in one motion, what I notice players do is they'll bring the ball up first and their knees will still be bent. So it'll be like this. And then this causes them to push the ball as well. That gets that two motion shot. And then now your shot is flat and you have a lower chance of the ball going in. So make sure you're shooting that ball in one motion. The only time you can shoot a two motion shot is maybe on a mid-range pull-up or certain circumstances. But for the most part, it should be a one motion shot at all times. So here's the difference between a one motion shot and a two motion shot. So first, I'm gonna start with the two motion shot. So the two motion shot, it'll look like this. And it was flat. The ball didn't go in at all. All right, so now this is the one motion shot. All right, so the last mistake that I noticed is that players are aiming the ball and throwing it to the goal instead of actually shooting the ball. So the difference is I'm aiming the ball, that's gonna cause my shot to be flat. If I shoot the ball, I'm actually going through my whole shot motion and I'm trusting that the ball is gonna be on a straight line. The aim should come within the forearm. So again, finishing with your elbow above your eyebrow, it should finish straight. And the aim will be perfectly fine if you finish like that. But if you're finishing with it over here, or if you're having that chicken wing, then that's when your aim starts to mess up. So again, perfect the ability to finish on a straight line and your elbow above your eyebrow, and then that aim will be perfect. So you don't have to worry about trying to purposely aim the ball. A lot of times when players are aiming the ball, it's because they're trying to overcompensate because again, they might have a chicken wing. So if I have a chicken wing and I know the ball is gonna go that way, I have to overcompensate and purposely aim the ball directly towards me. So I'm gonna show y'all what this looks like. So me aiming the ball will look like this. I'm shooting it directly towards the rim. Y'all see it hit the very center of the rim, exactly where I want it to hit. But me actually shooting the ball, it'll look like this. The ball will go over the rim instead of just hitting on the very front. So it should look like this. All right, so make sure y'all are actually shooting the ball instead of aiming the ball and trying to force the ball to go to a certain spot. So that concludes episode 6 of how to build the perfect jump shot. Today, we talked all about the mistakes. Make sure you're not making these mistakes because they can kill your jump shot. Again, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. If y'all didn't understand something, please comment and let me know what y'all need. Thank y'all.